welcome back to World Drum Club, everyone. I'm Kalani, your host and teacher, and this is a short introduction to the steel pan, or more specifically, the Jumbie Jam Steel Pan. I'll talk about that in a second. The steel pan is one of the only instruments that has been invented in the last 100 years. And it comes from the islands of Trinidad, Tobago, developed by who's considered to be really the grandfather of this whole movement, Ellie Minette, and popularized by others along the way. I'll leave some links down below the video to get into that specifically. But I wanted to give you an introduction to this instrument because I feel like this is super accessible. I'm not even a steel pan player. I used to have a professional model, and it was a little too big of a commitment to get into all the steel pan stuff. And I want to also, before we get too far, I want to apologize to all the steel pan players out there for my horrible sticks, because these mallets are so old. I've got rubber bands wrapped around the ends, which probably, from a historical perspective is pretty legit. But I just want to say that I'm sorry I don't have better mallets. But I want to show you the steel pan right now. So the steel pan is basically notes that have been dented into a steel barrel. The original ones were 55 gallon oil barrels. And this is a smaller version. This is really a simple starter instrument, good for classrooms and people like me that just want to have the sound. And the reason I like these is, well, there's several reasons. And I want to also give a shout out before we go any further to the people at Panyard. Panyard Inc. They're an American company, and those guys are great. I've known them for many years. And if you're curious about getting this or any other steel drums, go check out Panyard. They do a great job. Lots of options there. What I like about this instrument is that it gives you a really easy way to go up and down a major scale. This is a diatonic instrument. It's G major. So G major scale going up from the bottom note here, literally the bottom note closest to you. And then all you have to do is alternate back and forth and move clockwise. And then once we run out of notes here, we're going to go to the middle. But watch this. So in a lot of ways, it's really like winding clockwise and then unwinding. Another thing that I love about this instrument is it's pretty easy to play triads, and our most popular triads on the white keys of the piano kind of triads or chords. So you can do a C major chord right here. Actually, all of these notes would be C major. And then a G chord here. We've got an A minor chord right here. And the 5 chord of G, which is D major, and we could do D7, but we can do D major right here. And of course, the 4 chord of G is C, so we could do 1, 4, 5. Okay, so lots of options, just pretty simple, and I like that you can visually relate to this right away. So this is just a brief introduction. I'd love to know if you have any experience with steel pan. If you'd like to leave any recommendations or ask some questions below this video, you can do that. I am not an expert in steel pan. I like to have this instrument to add to some of what I'm doing, and maybe in some future videos I'll combine this with some other instruments for you guys, like native flute or some other percussion. I love the sound, and these are good quality instruments. These are, there's nothing wrong with the sound of this instrument. It is, it's small and it's on the higher end of the spectrum. You should check out full steel pan orchestras or ensembles. Look up Carnival or Panorama, Panorama. Search YouTube for Panorama videos. Search for Andy Narell. Search for Tom Miller or Pan Ramage, Liam Teague. There's lots of people you need to know about in the pan world if that's something you're interested in. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction. I'm Kalani. This is World Drum Club. Consider supporting us at patreon.com/Kalani, and I'll see you all in a future video.